I'm Capri, and welcome to We the GamerCast. It publishes every single Monday here at youtube.com/carpool gaming and podcast services on every single continent on planet dang Earth. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for being here, for telling your mom, for telling your dad, for telling your friend, for telling the stranger at the corner store. Is it 7-Eleven or Circle K or what do you guys got? Wawa? Go tell the people at Wawa. Tell everybody at Wawa about We the GamerCast. Why we are the official Wawa podcast. I got to get my coffee mug one of these days for this. Oh my goodness gracious. Where did that come from? How are you? You guys are in for an instant classic. I got to say, like, this show it's been pretty good lately. I don't like to toot my own horn, but I'm going to toot it. Okay. There's lots of tooting happening right now. This show's been pretty good, and you're in for, what am I even saying? You're in for a good one today. Robby Bobby Miller is my guest. You've heard me say Robby Bobby Miller's name at the top of the show for years. Because guess what? Robby Bobby Miller has been a friend of ours for a long, long time. And how it's taken this long to have him on the show, I don't know. But you know what? Robby Bobby Miller started to show up at like the Backtrackers, and he was part of the Gridlock, which we'll refer to a little later, which was a show that we done on Patreon, where we fought about The Last of Us Part 1 versus The Last of Us Part 2. And he was on there, and it's like, look at that, there he is. He's right there. Like we've been seeing him. We see you in the Discord. We see you doing the stuff. But he's a real person, and this is amazing. And I've got lots. We go on a journey. I just got to tell you guys that we go into all the places for this show. And by the way, it wouldn't even be possible if it weren't for everybody over at patreon.com/carpool gaming. And I want to say thank you to the 80 plus patrons over there, especially our ultimate producers. Top of the billing, Robby Bobby Miller, Tony Baker from Quest for Pixels, who just released a new episode. You guys got to check it out. Quest for Pixels, they were back. They do it in seasons. It's amazing. I somewhat understand it, but it's a whole other thing. Go to youtube.com/quest4pixels. That's the number 4. Dallas Ford, co-host of The Blame Game alongside ARGO. Go to YouTube. All the links are in the show notes. Johnathan Brown with his new EP from PME called Gems. Go check it out on Spotify and Apple Music. I've got my notes off to the side here. But I got to get it like right in the middle. Lee Navarro. I'll talk about Lee in a second here. Fearless leader of the Phoenix Overdrive Extra Life team. Links are in the show notes. Guys, this is how it's done. And thank you to our platinum producers, Marcus McCracken and RJ Kern, and our gold members, Anna, Cecily Carrozza, Dallas Robbins, Drellish, Emily O'Kelly, Foolish Fuji, Jose Jimenez, Marcus O'Neill, Nagachaka, the Snack Network, and Tim Paulin. And thank you to our newest patron coming back, Tech Mike. Thank you guys so much. It doesn't happen without you. I'm telling you, we need you to do it. But that's all the Patreon talk I want to talk about. Other than, well, you know what? If you are a patron, you're going to get a couple cool things. You got a console war room with me and Mr. Babbitt. We talk about the Bayonetta thing. We talk about Crying Jim Ryan and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's really, really good. So enjoy that. And Donnie and I are going to be recording Sweet Hangs on the 23rd of October. So lots of stuff coming at your feeds. But that's all I want to say about Patreon, because Extra Life is coming up. We're going to talk about that with Mr. Robby Bobby Miller here in a second. But we've got great prizes. I actually just heard from the folks over at Save the Game Media, who were sharing the same fundraising page at Save the Game Media, Carpool Gaming, and the Trophy Room. And the URL is /Save the Carpool Trophy. And they just added a Plague Tale, whatever the new Plague, Requiem, is it Requiem? I think it's Requiem. Whatever the newest game was. They're adding it. It's going to be a prize. Every $10 gets you one entry in. So this week has been good. We crossed over $1,000. Yes, you got, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I'm so stoked about it. Extra Life, extra-life.org/participant/save the carpool trophy. And our couch is ordered. We are all set. We're going to Rome, New York. And by the way, if you're in New York City, if you're around there, I'm there for the first couple days before that, actually. So hit me up if you're in the area. We should meet up. Definitely Nintendo New York. I don't know if this is a safe thing to just like broadcast on the internet, by the way. Just like, here is exactly where we're going to be. But Nintendo New York, November 4th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then we're going to skedaddle. We're going to get on a train. So be there if you can. I cannot wait. Earlier today, I hopped in and joined the Backtrackers, which is a community-driven video game book club. And this time they talked about Inscription. And I did a little run. I was jogging around the track, and I was just listening to this wonderful conversation. And you guys, I'm telling you, I didn't play Inscription. I don't know what most of like what was going on, but I got a really great idea of what the game was about. And I got to hear so many different like voices and perspectives and takes. And You don't get that from, I'm just saying, like, I think our podcasts are pretty good, and we've got a lot of people doing them, you know, Locklith and the Courts and the Ryans and the Bryans, the Brian Murphers, we just added a new member to the team, Brian Murford. Oh my goodness gracious. So you owe it to yourself. Go check it out. It's in the Discord. It's there. You're welcome. It's so welcoming. I saw a couple people join in for the first time today, and it's like, come on in. The water's warm or cold, whatever you like, but the water is to your liking. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. So enjoy that. I'm playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the campaign. Like when you pre-order, you get to play that, and I'm a couple minutes in, and it's Call of Duty, and it looks real good. I'm gonna go shoot stuff, so that's real exciting. You can expect coverage from me on Mario plus Rabbids, thanks to Ubisoft Canada for providing a code there. Because I gotta be honest, I was gonna wait. I was gonna wait and see, but I'm gonna be playing that later on today, and I think that's it, you guys. I'm very excited for this conversation with my good friend Robby Bobby Miller. I have to say, as great as this conversation is, I've been told in the past that, like, when we talk about some pretty serious stuff, some pretty traumatic stuff, you want a warning. We go deep. Okay. So there's some pretty, I don't want to give it away. Like, I don't want to say, like, he says this. So I just want you to, like, keep your guard up, I guess. If you don't want to hear anything about, like, loss and things like that, I guess. I'm trying to balance on, giving it away and giving you a fair heads up. This is, I guess, like a 14A, 18 plus. I don't know how to rate these things, man. But just, keep it in mind. But it's a really good conversation because he's such a stand-up guy, and he's had a lot happen in his life, and I love the way that he tells the story. So why don't we just jump into it? You can follow him on Twitter at Smooth423. My good friend and yours, Mr. Robby Bobby Miller.
Thank you. You gotta be tired, man.
No, I'm good. I had a massage a little bit earlier, so that was kind of nice.
Oh,
trying to take care of myself a little bit. I know, right? Well, lucky duck, I guess. That sounds like it's actually very, like, a massage sounds like it's like this nice relaxing experience and everything. But you know what, this guy, like, I go to the same person because he kind of I had some headaches and stuff going on. And, like, during the middle of a massage, he just got, like, that one spot. And my headache actually, like, went away he hit the spot, and then just, like, boom, it all went away. I'm like, I will see you forever, because my body is in pain a lot of the time. And so yeah, he's like leaning in with his whole arm into, like, the middle of my back and just kind of, like, doing that whole thing. So it sounds very lovely, but it's not. It's definitely like it's halfway to a medical procedure. Yeah. Like, there's a purpose for this, man. So, but it's the one thing, I mean, there's a couple things here in Canada you don't get for free. You don't get free massage therapy. So I got to work that out with insurance and whatnot. So I was just looking at
like a pre-existing condition. Can you?
Yeah, well, I don't think so. I actually, but okay. I maybe I'm not well versed, and maybe I don't think I have pre-existing conditions, I guess. But okay. Yeah, no, I have to work it through, like, insurance and stuff like that, and then that's the thing though. Like, if I didn't have any coverage for it, I wouldn't get it, and I guess I would just sit here complaining and in pain all the time. Yeah,
I hear that.
Yeah, dude. But this is a long time coming, man. I can't believe, I don't know how long we've known each other, but
it's been a long time.
Yeah, man.
Like, a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was even telling my wife, like, I told my wife, like, I completely forgot today was Friday. It's like I hadn't gotten anything ready because most of my, like, newer gen stuff is all packed in boxes because we're like slowly moving and packing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh crap. I was like, all I have behind me are, like, all my books, like regular books and other things. And I was like, oh, I got to do something to make it look like I'm a gamer real quick. And
not necessary.
I've been doing this since noon.
Come on, really?
And I like it. Yeah, it turned out well.
It looks. Wait, so you're moving in or you're leaving?
We're moving out. We've been at our townhouse for, I think it's 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 years was June.
Yeah.
And it's just before things start, like, breaking, we're like, because we had it built brand new.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's before things start breaking, let's get the hell out of here.
Heck,
like,
yeah, man. Somebody else's
like
problem.
The stove, one of the rings on the stove, like, stopped heating up, and I was like, no, man, we gotta roll. We gotta get out of here. Like, the air conditioner, I don't want to fix it anymore. Like I fixed it 3 times. I'm good. I'd rather it be this is it.
Yeah. Is it hot where you are?
No, it feels beautiful out. Like
Yeah.
now it's like it's been the past couple of days. It's been getting down to like I want to say 40s.
Oh yeah, it's the Ryan Turford segment right here.
Yeah. I love the weather. Yeah, yeah, I love it.
Brian Murford, the weatherman.
Yeah, I know. I love the Brian Murphy.
My God, dude, I just laughing so hard, man. Nice. So, are you stressed about the move though? Like, 'cause a lot of people don't like moving, man.
Only stressor is me because I'm the only one doing it.
Sure. Yeah.
Like packing it. Like my wife packs a lot better than I do.
Yeah.
But it's just been such like we've been packing since June, and I made the idiot mistake of I'm the cook in the family. I cook everything, and then I made the mistake of I'm gonna do it the right way, and I'm gonna get rid of the kitchen stuff first because that way it'll make me want to leave quicker.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
It was dumb because now everything I want to cook, I'm just like, screw it, let's get McDonald's or it's something else. Like I'm not in the mood. I don't feel like cooking right now. Like it's just been that type of thing now.
Yeah.
But we're ready to move. Our dog Mickey, we got a black lab. We've had him since 2010, like right around the same time when we moved in here. And he's just so old now. Like his back hips are going. He's 12 years old now. And we're just like, man, he'd like to get him a yard before, he moves on. Yeah. He deserves it. We took him camping this weekend with my brother, and he loved it. He didn't want to stop walking. He even jumped in the lake there.
Oh, it's the best.
He had a blast. My wife was not happy that he jumped in the lake, but I could not let him. I'm like, this might be his last time to the lake. He's jumping in the lake.
Definitely, yeah. You gotta loosen up a little bit when they're getting up there. Yeah, especially if it's like a clean lake. Like there was we used to take our dogs out there's like a dog park and there's like walk and everything, and there's more like a pond, and it's the nastiest water they could ever get in. Like they actually would get sick getting in there, so it's like, okay, don't go in there. But there's a river nearby, and it's like as long as he doesn't like get like swept away, like go clean off. Like go get nasty. But disclaimer, take care of your pets, whatever.
Exactly. Like that's what people don't get. It's like he's had a very healthy, good life. He's outlived all of his cousins. My brother-in-law had 2 Weimaraners. My other brother-in-law had an Italian Greyhound who passed away. All 3 of them were gone. Oh. And he outlasted all that. And when we got him, it was like we had to pay $8,000. We were those crazy people that got pet insurance.
Oh yeah, no, you need pet insurance. That's not crazy.
I thought it was crazy. My wife was like, we got to get pet insurance. And I'm like, why would you get insurance for a dog? I didn't have insurance most of my life, and I was fine.
I'm a person.
Yeah, exactly. But then she talked me into it. And then I want to say it was like the first couple of months he was having problems with his elbows as a puppy. At like 10 to 14 weeks, I think it was. And then like we had to have 2 different surgeries, and altogether it was like, I think it was like $8,000, $8,500 or something is what it cost us. But we only had to pay 10% of that or something, which was amazing.
No kidding, man. We had pet insurance for our dogs, and then and we're like, man, this is really good. Like the price was great, and then the company went out of business. Like apparently it was like too good. They must have like screwed up or something. Like a couple. And by the time the company went out of business, our dogs were old. And so like starting up a new policy somewhere, it's like it wasn't really an option. So we wished it. But like when you get a new pet, you don't know what kind of deal, like issues they've got. Like you don't know what you're going to be in for. So yeah, I'm a proponent of that there insurance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with labs. Labs always have had head problems. Yeah, totally. I remember when my wife's dog died, Smokey. He was a black lab, and I swear, like a Saint Bernard mix. Like this was the largest dog you've ever seen. Like, oh my god, he was like he would petrify the postman, the UPS guy, FedEx. They would like run like, no, I'm not going in there with that horse. Like he was just huge. And I remember when he passed away, both of my in-laws were too old that they were like, hey Bobby, can you take us with Smokey to go to the vet? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, you gotta carry him.
Helped him get him in the van and everything. Well, they didn't tell me he was dying that day. And I had to ride in the back. I had to ride in the back with his dead, stiff body, like huge body in the back of the van.
Oh my gosh.
The whole car ride back, and then we had to bury him. And I'm like, y'all are crazy. Like I've never done this. They went to the farm. Is always what happened when I was younger. But yeah, it was a whole.
How old are you? Experience. Wait, when was this?
This is like when my wife and I first started dating.
Okay, so you're grown up, but like, wait, how long have you known your wife?
We've been together for 20 years.
I had a feeling. Yeah, I think I remember you saying that. You've been, that's a long time,
we've
dude.
Been together forever. Yeah. Oh,
forever.
Yeah, I know. I got to overemphasize. Oh, I got to show you that picture. I found a picture of us from when we were younger when I was cleaning up here.
I thought you were about to say like me and you. I'd be like,
oh no, I wish.
That'd be soon, man. Soon we'll take pictures at Extra Life. It's gonna be amazing. I like this segment of the show where we each like we gotta just grab something off of our shelf. Each of us.
Yeah, man,
you got a great shelf, man. Like this is great.
Yeah, this was just like stuff that I have, like some of the consoles. But I found so much cool stuff, kind of like when I was cleaning out the garage. I was getting so excited. I was like, I got a Capri pile over here to show you. Like,
it's probably better than anything I got.
So much cool stuff. I'm so random. Like my ADHD makes me collect things, but I never finish them. So I have like,
I'm with you, man.
I have like the one Donkey Kong Jr. ColecoVision game up there.
That's
sweet. I have nothing from ColecoVision, but
who cares?
Actually,
this is the best. This is definitely a youtube.com/carpoolgaming.
Like this is so cool because it even says like CBS Electronics.
CBS. Oh my gosh. Yeah, everybody's getting into video games. You know, it's going to come around again, man. This is now, Amazon, everybody else getting into video games. It's basically the same as that. Oh, wow.
And then look at this guy. I found this today. Look at this sticker on this Xbox
favorite. What the heck? Microsoft company store purchase not to be sold. Purchase. Oh, it's an employee. Oh, what the heck?
It's even got its employee number.
Oh my gosh. I love that game, man. Project Gotham Racing 2. Oh, you know what? I thought it was the first one. I never played the second one. That's a huge sticker on that label. I never played the second one.
I was like, man, it takes up half the front.
They're like, here's your free game. Like it reminds me of. Do you guys have like warning labels on packs of cigarettes there? Like here, it's like legislated by the government.
Oh God, yeah. They have it all on the sides.
Yeah, tiny little corner. It's like this is whatever. I don't even remember. Export A or whatever. I don't even Demorier. Yep.
How do I remember two stories about that? Yeah. My uncle used to make me go around and collect all the Marlboro Miles.
Oh, yeah.
When they did that crap. And that's how I remember all the stuff, reading all that. But another friend of mine who went on his mission, he went down on his mission to Guatemala. And then when he came back, like out of the blue, like he showed up with these half-pack cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really big in South America. I had no clue about. There were only like 8 packs. And he got in trouble. I want to say he might still be in jail in Guatemala for coming back here and selling them as the 8 packs.
Come on, what?
Yeah. Which is even funnier because he's Mormon, so it was like, I can understand some point of it where you think that's cool. Like I'll bring that back to show people, but not bring it back and try to make a profit.
Well, that is a thing. I will say, like, I don't know if people are making like huge profits or like moving goods or whatever, but like there's definitely people who like go to a place and go, I brought an extra like Cuban or an extra whatever. You go to the duty free and you get it for cheap or whatever, and something like that. But yeah, I mean, what is he? He's got a whole smuggling gig going on.
Honestly, I know that he went back down there with a girlfriend that he had, and we haven't heard from him ever since.
Oh my God! You imagine being stuck in a Guatemalan prison?
Oh God, no! No, he was strange already. I couldn't imagine the stuff he's seeing right now.
Where did you meet your wife? You guys have known each other for 20 years. How long? Where does that take place?
It was funny. Not really funny. I got kicked out when I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
My mom kicked me out, and I was living in the park for a little while. And then I would go to random other friends' houses that I knew from the Mormon Church, who the most welcoming people in the world, that anyone would let you come in and stay there for a while or stay forever. I never stayed that long at a lot of people's houses, but I went to stay with my friend Rob,
mm-hmm.
and he was like, hey, do you want to go to this party? And I'm like, dude, like I got a lot of stuff going on right now. I really don't go to this party. And he was like, yeah, we're going to talk to these girls and try to convert them into Mormonism. And I was like, oh, why not? Like all the things going on right now, I guess maybe a little God will help me. And we went there, and I was talking to my wife's best friend, and Rob was talking to my wife, Kim. And next thing I know, like she called me complaining about Rob, and like he gave her a Book of Mormon and like write this big old phrase and thing in the front and everything. And then I was like, all right, well, just give me your number and I'll try to figure it out. And then that's when my wife and I went on our first date. And it's just been together ever since.
And it was a date, like, right? Like there was.
It was well, at first, when we first went out together, we went to a mall and I stole her cell phone. Like I was holding it for her because she didn't have any pockets. She didn't have any pockets, so I ended up with it, and then I came back over her house to give it back.
Yeah.
But then when she got it back, she realized that every time her boyfriend called, I said, "No, I'm her new boyfriend. You need to get a new girlfriend."
Yeah.
And yeah, she never lets me forget about poor Mikey. Like, she's like, "You were so mean to him." I was like, "Well, I mean, it worked out for me. I'm sorry, Mikey, but I'm sure he found someone." It was 21 years ago.
Oh my gosh! So she was legitimately dating somebody else, and you're like, "No, you're not."
Yeah, she legitimately was like I would have conversations with this guy. Like, "No, man, like, no, why stop calling my girlfriend?" Like, she gave me her phone. I'm using her phone. I got to take it back to her once I get off work. And yeah.
What was it?
Oh man. Oh, I think it's downstairs. It was like one of those old blue Nokias that had like a flip up cover for the
classic
for the phone numbers.
Yeah,
where the digits were, and it was great. The girls use it downstairs in their little play kitchen.
Were you like that with everybody? Like, were you just kind of like kind of stirring up shit?
Honestly, I at that point I was like homeless, living in a park, and I was like, what could possibly go wrong with anything that I was going to do at that point?
Yeah.
And I just kind of went for it, and it all worked out.
What happened with your parents? Let's back. We're going to go backwards this way. Why were you kicked out? What happened there?
Well, I don't want to say I was a bad kid. I was raised by my mom, and my stepfather was around a lot, but none of them wanted anything to do with me because of my father wanting nothing to do with me. So it was a lot of struggle there, and just the animosity and like a lot of the abuse I went through. Like I got beat a lot as a child, like going to school bloody with like curtain rods beating against my back and wooden spoons or everything. It was like pretty bad. But it's like, even though every time you told someone, like nothing was ever done.
Right.
But it's like, it was just that animosity, and my mom just hated my dad so much that she basically took it out on me, which I don't blame her. Finding out later, like what all was the reasoning for her hatred towards my father.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also something you don't realize till later. But I remember, I want to say I was in my room when my mom kicked me out. She came upstairs, and I just dropped out of school. Saw a senior. I had a senior for 4 months to go. And she told me if I wasn't going to go back to school, that I had to get out. And I left, and that was it.
Do you think that she was trying to get you to maybe not quit school, and that it all kind of backfired, or did it even matter?
I was at a point where I didn't really care about school anymore.
Yeah.
And which is hard because I was a Mormon. So I used to get up at 5 o'clock every day, and I would go to seminary before school every day.
Yeah. Every day.
So I was like drained. Yeah. You go to church before school every single morning of the school year for 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'd say what went downhill was when our seminary teacher was murdered. She was like the best. Like she was like the most caring. Like Sister Hawks was like amazing. Like she would take care of anybody, do anything for anyone. Like she was the best. And one day her son didn't take his medicine, and he killed her and one of my best friends, Tina Wu, and then tried to get to the other girls in the bathroom. It was just a lot. He had like paranoid schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And he just lost it one day. And then it was like, that was transitioning from that great of a teacher to a different seminary teacher. Like you already hate getting up at 5 a.m. You already hate going to school twice. And then between sports and everything else, you were just physically and mentally drained. And I really didn't want to learn from anybody else after that. It was like kind of hard to even have a teacher after that. But I did do the third year of seminary, and then the fourth year, I just couldn't do it anymore because it wasn't as fun. Like she would take the scriptures, and she would make songs about everything. Like it was great. Like she taught you with fun, like teachers should be. That's what I miss is she really cared about the kids and get them to learn. Like I was the scripture master champion sophomore year. Like she taught me. It was like battles at a table, like Pokemon. We had to whip out the scriptures, whatever they read or wrote. She taught me all that. But after that, after she was gone, and there's the way that they brushed it under the rug, like she was murdered, and then all of a sudden her husband was like remarried. I want to say less than 6 months after.
Wow.
And it was just so he could keep his position in church. But it was just all strange how it was like she was there and then like washed away.
Yeah.
And then everybody like forgave Ben for what he did like so quickly. It was a little harder for me to just get over it, but
was it because like it's just that's what you're supposed to do, is even in the worst case scenario you're just supposed to forgive? Like it seems like if anything there would be some sort of support system to process through the grieving, but instead it's just like automatic forgiveness and we're not going to think twice about it and move on. Like sounds like what
I'm guessing, because it seemed like the church is very strict on some of the things, especially regarding like the bishopric and like the elders and stuff. It's like everything is so secretive. And my thing was, I remember people losing positions all the time in the church and nothing ever happening or them getting divorced or remarried. But a murder, like it seemed very odd that it was like within the 6-month period. Ben was institutionalized and everybody was like forgiving him, and then Brother Hawks remarried, and it was just like we're all just forgetting about Sister Hawks here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little much for me.
Did you feel basically pretty alone in that sentiment? Like, what's everybody else doing? And it seems like you're looking at this situation through a different lens as everybody else.
Yeah, and honestly, it's because of my like when we talked about The Last of Us, my like attachment to role models in my life.
Right.
Like she was the I hate to say it, but at that time the mom that I wanted.
Yeah.
And it was like I attached myself to that, and then it was like it was just taken away. Like it was just gone, and then everybody was so quick to forgive and apologize and move on. And even the lady he married, like I believe her name was Hawks as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like spelled different, which I think was all just strange to me.
That's like I'm forgetting the movie reference, but anyways, that takes us off into a different direction. Did that make you, so you stayed with the church after that? Are you still Mormon? Are you still practicing? Like,
no, after my mom died, I stopped going. My mom was the only reason I liked going to church. She changed over the years, especially after I found out about my father, like how horrible of a person he was. Like she started wanting to do things like that I wanted to do. Like we would go yard sale shopping. That's something I like doing with my kids now.
Yeah, sweet.
Like stuff like that I love doing. And it was like all the stuff we did was with her, and everything that she did was with the church. It was called I forgot what it's called now. But the Relief Society and Young Women's. Everything my mom did with them, we always helped out. All of us, we'd give anybody the shirt off our back. That's just the way my mom raised us. And anything my mom volunteered for, she volunteered us for too.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like she was every aspect of the church for me. And when she passed, it was another one of those. She passed away, and then like people like didn't even know who I was. Like I walked down the hallway or something, and then people like introduced themselves to me. Like I've known you forever, but they only knew me because of my mom.
Right.
So it was like that kind of. I just didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
But I will say that the Mormon Church is amazing for the programs they have. I taught basketball. We won the championship. I was there when I coached. I love basketball. Both of my girls are now playing basketball. I loved it. They did it every Wednesday and Saturday. And that's something like BYU and a lot of the other Boy Scouts, everything was done through the church. Like it was great that everything was always done. You were always together either Wednesday and then Saturday, Sunday, or Tuesdays as you went to scout camp or other things. But I always loved the camaraderie of the Mormon Church. That's one thing I could say that they are probably the best at. Like they really do make sure everyone's involved.
So is the moving on from that more of like a separation from some pretty painful stuff? Is that like?
For me, it was because that was the last time I saw my mom.
Yeah.
Was that they had the funeral there. Brother Young played the bagpipes. I remember it was my first time like doing a public speaking. Like I don't like talking in front of people. And I remember that I had 5 words written down on a piece of paper that I held in my pocket before I had to go up and speak, because everybody wanted me to speak because I'm the oldest brother. And they wanted me to speak, and I really didn't want to. So it was hard for me because it was sorry, I started crying. My mom passed away 3 months before Ava was born. And it was my first kid. And she talked about it all the time. It was like she looking forward to it and talking to me about things I got to do and get ready for, which no one's ever ready for. But she knew that the only thing I've ever wanted in my life was to be a father and to be someone that would be there for me that I never got as a kid. And that's what I try to do here. So, yeah, it was rough because we went to a yard sale and she had these little pair of shoes that she just bought for Ava to wear, like coming home from the hospital. And when I was doing the eulogy, I pulled out the shoes and told everybody about the story of going yard sale with my mom, where she was one of the type of people that she had to buy something from every single yard sale she ever visited. She always felt like people do this work and you have to buy something, or they feel like, why did I ever do this? Mm-hmm. And it was something I do now. I have like a pile of the worst things you could ever purchase at a yard sale, just because it was something my mom instilled in me. Yeah. And it was just hard because it was 3 months before. I remember getting the phone call. I used to do car audio stereo repair, like taking the radios out of cars and fixing them. I love that. I lost all my passion for that after my mom passed. I remember taking the radio out of a 2006 Cadillac CTS. I took the radio out. It was a big unit. It had a screen in it. I just took it out. And then my stepfather kept calling me. My little brother kept calling me. And my sister kept calling me. We don't talk to each other like that.
Yeah.
And then I got frustrated because I'm like, the customer's in the car. And I'm like, what's going on? And then my brother's like panicking. He's like, Mommy's purple and she won't wake up. And like my blood was like leaving my body, but I knew I had to put the guy's car back together. Mm-hmm. So like 5-10 minutes later, I come back inside. I try to tell my boss, I'm like, I gotta go. Something's wrong with my mom. Sorry, 1 second. Something's wrong with my mom. Like, she's not breathing. And I went to hand the keys to the Cadillac to my boss, and I fell to my knees, like right in front of him. Like, I knew that she was gone before I even left. Like, I left, started driving, and my brother called me, and he was like, just, you don't have to rush, just come home. And I already knew that my mom was gone. So it was a lot dealing with all that. Like the first actual funeral I've ever planned with my older sister. And it was like right before I was about to have my first kid. And I remember the baby shower that, for Ava, the baby shower, I don't even remember it because I had to drink so much just to come around people and be there for my wife. And like, it was horrible because I can't remember anything except for my mom passing before Ava was born. And it's like, I'll never forget it. It was the greatest day ever. Like, seeing a kid being born is like the craziest, like, mind-blowing thing ever. Mm-hmm. I have to say, it's not for everyone, but if you do get a chance to experience it, it is,
I agree, man.
It's amazing. Like, there's just the things that they can do and remember, and and how quickly they can take you to a different place emotionally.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I had my wallet here. When I got fired from one of my jobs, Ava drew me a smiley face on a paper towel and said, "It's okay. Don't worry about it. Like, just every time you open your wallet, look at this picture," which is over my picture of my license. It's a paper towel with a little smiley face, and she's like, "Just know it's going to be okay."
That's the best.
And it's like kids, they're amazing because they don't know, but they know. They they know to try to comfort you and make it feel all right. And it's like, I still want to get that tattoo. I just haven't waiting a little while.
That's a great idea, man.
Yeah. And it's just, I it's so yeah. My life is it's pretty turmoil, but you live it.
Well, it sounds like something might have happened in between that point in your life and when you're in your room and your mom tells you to get out. Like, did something change? Like, it sounds like you ended up actually becoming quite close. Is it just a matter? I feel like there's situations all the time where people just can't live together, you know, and it's better as adults.
Yeah, I would say that's fair enough.
Is that like an understatement of the century?
Yeah, and what's hard is because I had it was like we had a mutual resentment toward each other, only because of my father. Like
Right.
I hated that she would not let me see him. He would never come to my baseball games or ride the bus to come see me or Christmas presents or things like that. And then she would get mad at me for getting mad about that, and then it would just start a whole problem.
She was just trying to protect you.
She was just trying to protect me from him.
Yeah.
Like I didn't find out like the reasoning between them two of like why she like until older, while I was a lot older. That I want to say my sister let it slip out what had happened. And then I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I've never heard anything about this. Like, was this true or what?
You mentioned a couple siblings a couple times. Like, what's the ordering here? Are you the youngest or what's going on there?
I have an older sister named Tara.
Yeah.
And then I have two younger brothers and a younger sister.
Oh, wow.
But my younger sister that was the new family that my dad started. And every time I would go over there, it was just horrible. Because he lived in the projects, and it was like I used to sleep in the hallway at his house because all you would hear was gunshots and screaming and yelling and the drugs and the crime. Everything in Brooklyn Park Homes was god awful. They wouldn't let me sleep in their room, so I had to sleep in the hallway in between their bedroom door and the bathroom every time I went over there, and it was just a nightmare. I saw one of my best friends get killed in my dad's front yard trying to run away from people. It was a horrible place to try to live, but he chose that family over us, so that's the way that ended up for him. But he's still alive. He's still a horrible person. He's never had a driver's license, and every year he texts me on his birthday asking if I got him a gift.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's a real peach. Yeah.
So at one point you are in the church, you leave the church. You're a sweet guy. How does this I don't know if are you defying the odds? Like, how is this happening? Like,
no, I think it was just a sad luck of the draw. Like, we grew up extremely poor. Like, I never had any consoles when they actually came out. Any video games we ever had were ones for like Family Dollar or the Blockbuster clearance rack or off the wall games that I loved because that's all I had. But it was gosh, I didn't even know I was poor until I was in high school. Until people started noticing that like my Nikes, the swoosh was going the wrong way, and I was wearing girl socks and girls pants.
Yeah.
You know that your classmates love to point out to let you know.
Yeah, I get it, man.
And I think it was hard for my mom to see my dad with his new family, and
For sure.
like how hard we struggled, and then how much she struggled with me. And even my younger brother, she struggled with him a lot too. Like they went at it a lot. And he's my adopted brother. My youngest brother, Seth, is actually my cousin. My mom adopted him a long time ago. But them two really had it out. He didn't have it as worse than me with the beatings, but emotionally, verbally, they went at it a lot. And I think my mom was just frustrated that she kind of didn't have anyone to like help her out. Like, she couldn't really work. She babysat and did other things to try to make ends meet. And then I guess I wasn't really happy about all the things that were always spent on everyone else. That's just how I was. And like, even hearing now, like stories that people tell about my siblings, and they're like, "Oh yeah, one Christmas I didn't get this or that," and I'm like, "No, that was me." Like I used to get punished every Friday. I never went to. They used to always go to a cheesesteak place, and it was every Friday when my stepdad got paid. They would all go to the restaurant, and then I would be grounded and I wasn't able to. I was eating raw hot dogs and stuff like that. Like it was just hard. But I try to do most of it on my own, and then even when I try to get help, it didn't pan out. But I don't think I'd change it at this point, though. Only because I like where I am now.
Well, how does that kind of happen? Like, do you have are you processing this still to this day? Are you able to talk to anybody about this kind of stuff? Like, what do you do with all that?
It bottles up a while.
Yeah.
Like it was, I was always, it's funny because anyone you ask, they would say that I was a good kid. Like my teachers, everything. I don't know if you remember the game 24 game where it was like in math class, they give you the little card with 4 numbers on it. And you had to come up with an equation for 24.
Oh,
like,
no.
It's so fun. I got second runner up to that. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Chess. I was second runner up at chess.
Yeah, you're quick,
it was a
man.
lot of,
yeah.
It was a lot of. I attached myself. That was Mr. Parrish. He was one of my middle school teachers. He was great. He was a reverend. That he was a reverend on the weekend.
Of course he was.
And he was a school teacher.
Parrish.
Yeah, he was amazing. Yeah, and he was great. He helped me. He taught me chess. He taught me like math in the game 24.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot of things, but I will say that I want to say, sorry, my mouth is really dry. I don't remember if it was Locketh or somebody. No, so I'm a talker. I can't remember who it was, but you were making fun of somebody for the clocks, like they still can't read clocks. And it was like, that was something I struggled with until like 4 years ago. Like still to this day, I would look at the clock and my wife would be like, "What time is it?" And it takes me a minute, and I'm usually wrong. But yeah, it was like stuff like
probably
that.
Like
that
Joe or Cord or something, or probably Ryan. I was probably making fun of Ryan.
It was I couldn't remember who it was. Yeah. But it's still it's humorous. But it's just funny that like there's things that you don't realize that like while everything was happening to me, that I never thought that I had a problem ever, only because I always bottled everything up.
Yeah.
I never, my parents never came to any like teacher days at school or anything. I kind of just did everything myself until my senior year, where I was just drawn out from everything. Which was hard because she was so involved in like my younger brother's stuff and my older sister's stuff. But it was just it was just me.
Yeah.
Which was just so weird to think about like now, only because of like what I know now about my father. But it's just like, I really wish that society would have been different back then. That would have been okay for them to just tell me like, this is what's up with your dad. And this is why we don't want him around. We don't want him, alone with you. There's just so many things that would have been made a lot more sense. And I probably would have been a different child, probably. But yeah, it was just rough trying to be me for a while. I did bottle it up, yeah.
So you meet your wife. You were going to go talk to these girls to try to convert them to the Mormon Church.
The Mormonism, yes.
Yeah. What kind of impact has she had on your life, given all of this stuff happening beforehand?
Everything. I honestly wouldn't be anything that I am today without my wife. My wife is like, it's funny because she's like the polar opposite for me. Like she's very introverted, and I'm very out, and I want to do everything or do something or go talk to people. That's just how I am. And she's the complete opposite, but she grounds me so well that I honestly don't think I could have done anything in my life from the point of living in a park until now without my wife. Like she's just amazing. Like she's just great.
When did you know, like, it seems like you kind of went out of your way to shuffle off this other guy. It almost sounds like that story is only going to end with you two getting married. That's just so so ripe for a story to be told later on. You know, you don't just do that with anybody. It's like, of course, that's the one you're going to marry, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's funny you say that because in our wedding video, I didn't realize like my in-laws paid for a videographer. And I've never had a videographer for anything. Like we didn't document that much of our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And he was interviewing me and asking me questions. We got married in Ocean City, down the ocean, in where I sent you the birthday video from. We were getting married down there, and he was like, "So, how did you first know when your wife was the one?" And in the video, the guy didn't tell me that I had to answer. I'm like, because I got a lot going on. We just did everything on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I just did all the tiki torches. I like, it's like the day of the wedding here, and on the video, he says, how did you know that your wife was the one? And the entire video I go,
oh no.
And that's recorded forever.
That's exactly how I would cut that video too, man.
And
yeah.
I'm just like, come on, man.
Come on, throw me a bone
like,
here, man.
I'm like, I told you, like, I got a lot of stuff going on, trying to get ready. I had to get my stepfather ready because he's disabled. It's like I've had so much going on, and then now every time we watch the video, it's like, so what was the one thing?
Oh, that's so funny.
God. But it is a funny antidote, like, yeah, to think that that's now there forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's really enjoyable. It wasn't at the time, but it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. It happens to everybody. We all have like that split, like brain dead moment, and then to capture it on film is actually kind of amazing. We did a similar kind of thing for my sister-in-law when her and her husband got married. We sat everybody down and we kind of asked them to tell stories and all these kinds of things. And my kids were very, very young at the time. And so we asked them, like, how much do you love, like, Auntie Alex? And Lincoln goes, like, this much. He stretches his arms all the way. And how much do you love Uncle Jake? And Ellie goes, 0 or 3 or something like that, like a small number. It's like, oh my gosh, it's just the best. And it's like, it's just super insulting moment, but you capture it on there anyways. And you throw it in the middle of a bunch of sentimental stuff. And it's just the best.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, like I said, like it's amazing to me. And I've talked to so many people with all sorts of different pasts and stuff. And the way you end up just like turning it around or making it work or whatever, like, I don't like there's a grit there, I guess, or there's something guiding you to go be this way. And maybe it's just steering away from all the awful stuff. Is that enough to say that you just don't want to do that? So that guide you in the best way possible?
I want to say yeah, but I want to say yeah, but for me, I think it was easier for me to deal with things the way that they were, was because I was always so busy doing things and caring about other people. That's why,
I know the feeling. Yeah,
my entire life, people called me a sweetheart and everything. I mean, I'll tell you one quick story here. Like I told you, the Mormons do everything. And one day, for the Boy Scouts, they got a whole bunch of Christmas presents and stuff together. And they needed someone to dress up as Santa Claus. And I was like, sure. I was like, I'll do it. Like, I love giving back. I'll enjoy the heck out of this. And we went and we stopped at a couple of older families from the church. And then we left the third family, and then I remember they were like, hey, Bobby, is this the street you live on? Do I turn up here? And I was like, yeah, it's right there. You know, you make that left and oh. I was like, okay. I had to go to my own house, dressed as Santa Claus, to give my little brothers gifts because we were the poor family to church. No one wanted to tell me that, but it's still like one of the things that I remember forever, because my little brothers never knew that I was the Santa Claus. So it was like, it meant a lot to me to be able to give back and help people like that. It's something I've always done. It's something I will forever do and try to instill to my kids. Because it's just, life's too short to always be angry. Like, especially now with political turmoil and console wars. it's stuff is people take everything way too seriously. And it's like people don't take the little moments to just be grateful for what you got.
That's why I'm so glad to be talking with you tonight, man. Like every once in a while I have a chat like this, and it's this amazing reminder of there are far more serious things that can have and have happened, that it kind of reconfigures me, certainly. Like I that's why I love doing this so much. I just get to talk to so many different people. But oddly enough, Extra Life is top of mind, and we're raising a bunch of money and all these things that just seem like the thing that you're supposed to do. I just don't really think of it any other way. Like this is what we're supposed to do. But introducing it to people who don't come to it so naturally, like I just think it's so important to dedicate a portion of your time on this earth to be in service of others. And like I get every once in a while, it kind of hits me like, man, that could go away in a flash. Like it's not a natural thing for people just to go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to dress up as Santa Claus because somebody else has it rough right now, and I want to be a part of maybe brightening their day or something like that. Like finding whatever that happens to be, I think is so important. So like Extra Life is cool because it's video games, and of course we want to raise money for kids and all that kind of stuff. But I actually think it's even one step more than that, where it's like, if that's going to be somebody's entry point into like community service or whatever it is, like let it be that. That's great. Hopefully it hooks on another 5 or 10 or whatever people to join us and do this kind of stuff. Cause I don't know, man, it's like a salvation in a way.
Agreed. And I feel like it people don't realize how much it helps another person.
Right.
Like it's not even like, oh, I got community service. It's knowing that you're going to do something that someone's going to go home. Like, my little brother got a wallet. It's like my little brother was so excited, and I'm pretty sure he still has that wallet to this day, because he remembers that he got that wallet for Christmas from Santa Claus.
It's the best.
And he just never thinks otherwise. It's just that was in that moment the thing. And a lot of people aren't charitable anymore. It feels like a lot of people are so quick to throw money at things. And that's something that I've been struggling with lately, is like I remember, not to take anything away from people, but all the Facebook things that people were doing when they were, just donate to this charity instead of giving me something for my birthday or something like that. It's like, I like that a little bit, but I guarantee you that it's not going to do as much as you think for helping people as much as you could volunteer in the soup kitchen, or like in my church, they had canneries where you can can your own stuff. Mormons are really into that. And don't eat their pickles that they've been canning forever. I found that out the hard way. My best friend's mom was so mad. They canned everything. They had these pickles down in the basement for a couple of years. And I just cracked them open one day. I was over there because I didn't know any better. And man, the hell I had to go through to be forgiven for that. And I had to go to the cannery and learn how to make things and stuff like that. And it's just, you got to give back. Life's short. People can't have everything.
Oh, sadly, it's true.
I have gained and lost more things than I think I've ever wanted to. Like in 2009, my wife and I were living together, and the apartment that we just got together was our first apartment together. And in the middle of the night, I'm up playing video games, Rainbow Six Vegas.
Nice.
I was up playing that in the middle of the night, and it was like 12:30 in the morning, and someone starts like banging on my front door, and I'm just like, oh no, I ain't answered that. Like it's after hours that, you come back tomorrow. And the guy kept banging and banging, and he's like, man, he was like, look out the window. He's like, your apartment's on fire. And I was like, what? And then I look out we had a huge deck. It was the best apartment ever. We had this big old patio. We were on the second floor, and I look out and I could see the smoke and flames, the fire coming from the apartment across the hall.
Crap, dude.
So I mean, fire alarm starts going off. Everything's going on. I go in there. My wife is still asleep in the bed. Like, she is the soundest sleeper ever.
That would be me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was like going crazy frantically trying to like bang on all the neighbors' doors, keep coming down to her, like, get up and get out, man. Like, and then luckily she grabbed her baby blanket and my baby blanket. I've had it forever. My grandmother gave me, I think hers as well, gave both of them to us. And then we just grabbed the car keys and we were like, all right, we'll just come back in a little while, go get something to eat, to put out the fire. Well, they couldn't put out the fire. So it was a 4-alarm fire. There's even a YouTube video where you could watch it. It's called the Hampton Manor apartment fire. And you could see our apartment, like, getting burnt up. Like, people were, like, screaming and yelling at the fire department. They didn't have enough trucks to get the water. One of the hydrants was out. They didn't have enough trucks to link together to get to the water before it spread over the firewall on the our side and then burnt all our stuff. The little of us, her name was Elsie Saller, and she works for McCormick. So all the spices, she's been doing that forever. The sweetest lady ever. She gave me all the spices every time she worked there. She'd bring home a whole bag full of them. She lost everything she's ever owned. She was in her 70s. Her apartment was on the top floor, and she literally lost everything. They wouldn't let her go back in her apartment for anything. My wife and I both, it was our first time moving into our apartment together, so we both lost everything that we've ever had. Most of her stuff is luckily still in her parents' basement that we didn't have room in the apartment. But everything I ever had from, like, my grandparents, my Bob, it was my grandfather's Bob belt buckle. My wife had a whole bunch of old coins that her grandmother gave her, like, every year for her birthday and holidays.
Just irreplaceable stuff.
Stuff you can never get back, and it was just gone. And it was, what was worse is they waited so long to even let us get back in there. That mold was so bad. Like, we could only come into the living room of our stuff. They wouldn't. Our bedroom is where we had all of our stuff. All of our sentimental stuff was all in the bedroom closet, and that was all burnt and black and moldy all down in the basement. And we just lost everything. And it was like we had to start all over. Which luckily we got to stay with my in-laws for a little while until we bought this place that we're in now. But it was a lot. And then the charity of my wife's work, they started a donation for my wife and I, and then whatever they got raised, they doubled it, and then that helped us pay for this house. We put the extra down, and then we started over. But it's like, it's crazy because it's like I've lost everything so many times between being kicked out or stuff stolen from us, or the fire, and it's like it's hard to have a sentimental attachment to things when things could be easily taken so quickly. Like that's what people should understand is like, it's great to have all this stuff, but at the same time, it's honestly wasn't that bad to lose it and start over.
Was that a new perspective that you gained after that? What to like? Because you're right. Like none of those things. Like there's so many things that are not replaceable. But then do you have like an awakening of some sort to go? Well, it's just stuff.
Yeah. It was a huge awakening because there was like things like still to this day that we like either looking for a shirt or a picture of something. It's like we're like, oh man, that was in the apartment or something like that. Yeah. Well, we'll sentimentally forget about something like that, but I've been used to it forever because in my childhood, like we moved from so many places because we were always renting. We moved or got kicked out of so many places that that it was easy to have to leave stuff behind or throw it away or lose it too. We had one time the basement flooded and we lost, everything in the basement, all my pictures. Like I literally, like from my family never saved anything of mine from like my childbirth on. This is literally just the only thing that I have is my baby book. That's like the only thing I have to prove that I existed before high school. And it's completely blank. It has my name in it, but that's it. It's like, it's crazy to think that like, this is it. Like I tell my wife things or I tell my kids things or friends or other things. And I'm like, man, I used to have like this cool stuff. I modeled for Ralph Lauren when I was younger. Like I was in a magazine once.
What?
And it's like things that I will probably never see again. Yeah. It was one little ad. Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that like you need that print.
Yes.
Like you can't just like Google it.
No. Unfortunately, no.
That's awesome though.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I feel like we need like a mini series with you, actually.
It's so funny. That's what my old boss, we used to ride together. When I did the car radio repair, I drove 3 hours each way every day for work for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I left my house and drove all the way through DC, Maryland, and Virginia traffic every single day, 3 hours each way. And whenever I drive with him, he was like, dude, you need to write a book. He's like, because the things that you've experienced and been through, he's like, I've never experienced any of that. I think he was from Wisconsin, and he was like, he was like, we had snowstorms and stuff. He was like, that's the cool stuff that happens to us. He was like, but you have like this crazy stuff that keeps happening to you. And I'm like, yeah, it's been a lot. Like it's a lot for a kid. And yeah.
It was like, because I don't really get a sense of like a poor me at all from like not even a little bit. I don't even think that you're even like playing it off a little bit. Like you don't have like even though you have a lot of reason to play off like a victim story here, but I don't know, like it was similar. I don't even want to name names, but it's reminding me of a good half dozen or so people I've talked to on here where I'm always amazed where it's like you have every right to go poor me, but you're not. Like you're such a stand-up guy. You're great to talk to. You tell the story in a way of just like, this is what happened. This is what has happened to me. And I think that's incredible because I think far less has happened to other people. And it's like, and they do play that card. And everybody's different, but I'm remarking on, I guess it's kind of striking me in this moment.
I appreciate that. I don't know if I've ever been like poor me. Only because I always see so much more of either other things that are going on or my ADD wouldn't let me think about one singular moment.
nice little blessing, just like, oh, something else. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely think it helped me through a lot of my youth, of probably things that I'll never remember.
Yeah.
But even like sports and stuff, like I forgot that like thinking about it now, like all the trophies and other things that I had as a kid. I mean, I used to take my trophies and stuff apart and like make giant trophies and stuff like that. And it's like, I remember when that basement flooded, I lost all that stuff. And there was only one thing that I always wanted to keep. And it was this Unsung Hero Award for indoor hockey, where it was, oh my God, I want to say it was the whole season. I never gave up a goal, like ever in floor hockey, and I got Unsung Hero, and that was like my crowning achievement. It kind of I used it as a euphemism for my own life.
Yeah,
kind of like I've never. Yeah, I'm not a leader per se as much as I am like I'm the guy that's just there and is always gonna help out and be there. Like that's one thing that I've always one trophy that I always wanted to keep with that one.
That surprised me 0% about you, by the way. Unsung hero, like that's totally. And what a thing to like kind of strive for too. Like I think that's something that's a little bit lost as well these days, where everybody's and so be it for me to say something like this, but everybody's a YouTube star and all this kind of stuff. And it's kind of nice to have like the people who don't need to be up front and center, just like making sure it all works out in there. And that's been you even in the community as well, man. Like you're not looking for any medals or trophies or anything, but you're making it happen, dude. Like you being part of all this, it's like, it's nothing without you and people like you, dude. Like, I don't know. It's very important.
I've always based my life upon you put money into things that you want to see succeed. Yeah. Like if you like PlayStation, you donate to PlayStation, Xbox. It's anything. Like people.
Definitely not Stadia.
Oh, I put money into Stadia.
I'm just kidding. I
wish I wouldn't have.
I know.
But
you got money back though.
They gave you so much free crap. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got $45 back. Yeah. But it was that was so bad. I wanted to root for them so bad too.
So did I, dude. I had it pre-ordered and I canceled it like just last minute. I was there. I was so close to being there with everybody else, all the other 12 people who bought Stadia.
there were so many people that bought it, and that I knew because like the people that I know that we used to play Destiny together, they were all into collecting and everything, and like every new console that came out, they were like, "Oh, you're going to get this, or you're going to get that," and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I could." I mean, I never opened them, but I get them, and it's like it's stuff like that. And I got the Stadia, and then turns out only 2 of the 5 of us got it. Yeah, and I was like, "Come on, man! I thought we were all going to get this together." They had the free games.
Yeah, they backed out.
And then then they started making you want to pay a subscription.
It reminds me of when like you had like a Panasonic 3DO, and you had a whole bunch of these other like consoles that would just kind of come up out of nowhere. And yeah, eventually it just kind of everything shook out to just Nintendo and I mean a PlayStation at one point, Sega with the Dreamcast there too. But it seemed like, yeah, maybe we could have a couple other things and history repeats itself. Everything is the same, but just a little bit different now. I think it's kind of interesting. I wish Google, like, I wish they just stuck around just a little longer with it. Like it was fun for people to make fun of it, but I actually thought the tech was really cool. A lot of the things that they were touting when they launched it, like remember like the streamer stuff, like you could just like share a save game, or you could just like hit a button and like join into that game like without downloading the game. Or dude, I thought they were gonna change everything. Yep. And I struggled with this, maybe shifting gears a little bit. Like I want to know what is possible in the future, but like I think a lot of times gamers and people who comment on games, maybe I'm at fault for this as well, like we're so critical. And things have to be such a certain way. Like my trailers have to have gameplay and that's it. And it's like these demands actually like limit the innovation that can happen. And I want to see somebody dream a little bit and go like, yeah, it may not be possible, but like this is kind of what we're shooting for. And this is why people are afraid to fail, because if they don't hit that exactly, then people tear them down. They go like they say all the terrible things. And again, I probably said some terrible things about Google, but I want people to dream. I want to see what's possible, man.
Yeah, that's what people don't get is the competition matters mostly to grow. Like that's what people don't get is that like stuff is not going to keep growing unless there's competition. Like the Xbox with the Kinect, like that was fantastic. And then PlayStation had the iToy or whatever crap that was. But it was like the innovations kept changing where they kept coming out with the Kinect 2 and then PlayStation 1 with the VR. It's like that's what we want to keep going. I don't care who's buying whom or what games are on what. I will honestly say I don't like Game Pass. I know this is going to hurt you. I don't like it. I will say it is the best deal in gaming. I will say that. But my thing is I like owning the games. Yeah, that's my only thing is I like either physically owning them or digitally. I like to own them because my ADD or ADHD, well, both, whatever. I can't just buy the new game and then play it for the however long it's on Game Pass and then move on to something so quickly. My brain would drive me nuts. Like, hey, remember playing Tunic for those 2 hours? Like, you need to get back on Tunic or go play Inscription. Like I'll be sleeping one day and then I'll see the Inscription card drop or something. And I'll be like, I guess I should go play that again.
Yeah, man.
See stuff like that. But I do like the way that Xbox is doing it with the new releases for stuff that they have coming out. Whether they be exclusives or not, I don't care about that.
That actually feeds right into that. I've never thought of that. That if you're kind of bouncing from one thing to the next, and that is me. I don't know if I have ADD or I've never been diagnosed, but like there is something to go like, ooh, that's new. Ooh, like there's always something there. And yeah, maybe that's part of the deal. Like we've talked to death about like the loot boxes and whether something is like predatory and tapping into somebody's addictive nature or like the gambling and stuff like that. But like maybe there's always something new coming out, and here's how easy it is for you to play it. You just pay $15 a month and it's all there. It's like maybe I don't even want to start that. I feel like that's probably a thing, but I don't want any more like narratives to be drawn about this stuff. But that's probably part of the business model. Just make it as easy as possible for people to jump from one thing to the next.
That's true. And then also you got to figure another thing about I don't want to say anti-Game Pass, but with Game Pass is the which a horrible system that they do now anyway is the season passes for everything. Like that I've been wasting so much money on a Rocket League season pass that I don't finish, or Fortnite, or these other ones. And I'm like,
I bought the season pass for You Suck at Parking. Like, what am I what am I doing? I haven't played it since I bought the battle pass for that, like, or whatever it was, parking pass.
Thrill of unlocking that
it's
stuff.
So stupid.
It's so addictive. Yes, it's so dumb, but it's so addictive. It's
we can be honest about it.
Playing a game, and then you're like, let me see what the store's got for deal.
I know,
like,
and it's
just something
you
that
level
takes
up
over you.
and see that you haven't unlocked it. It's like, well, we can't have this.
Exactly.
I can't be this far along and just have like nothing. It's right there. If I just unlock it, then look at all this cool stuff, man. I'm such a hypocrite with it, because I've been saying all along, and I continue to say, like, that stuff's stupid. That's real dumb. And I've literally paid for, I don't know how many, not every single one. You know, I'm not taking out a second mortgage on my house because of it, but like, there's definitely been dollars sent around for some of this stuff. And Halo is another example. Got that battle pass for some strange reason.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I did it with Destiny too. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like this kind of taps into two games I know that you're into, and we haven't gotten around to one of them.
I don't know which one that is.
You don't?
I don't know what it could be.
Yeah, maybe a little game called Warframe. Warframe's actually cool though, man. Like, that's the thing. Like, me not playing it has nothing to do with my attitude on the game. It's just a time thing. But like, Warframe is a good game.
It really, it's funny, because when I first played it, I believe it came out at PS4's launch.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like awful. I'm like, this is like the worst. Like, it had mods. I never played a game like basically like an RPG where you had to like level up, or everything to me was like a shooter or an action adventure game or something like that, where it was easy to do. But then when I started collecting the mods, and they're like, oh no, you need to make this build and all that, and I was like, nah, I ain't got time for a build, because my brain would get devoured in the build that it would just drive me nuts. And then you had to earn the different Warframes, and I was like, no, I'm but then my buddy, we got done playing Rainbow Six Vegas 2 for a long time.
Dude, that game is so good.
Oh, it's all of them were so great. Like, the Tom Clancy games used to be so good.
Did you play Division?
Now they're just, oh god, yeah. I played a Division 2. I played with Court the other day. Yeah,
oh, did you
scared
really?
the hell out of me. Yeah, let me tell you, I don't remember the last time I played a video game with another human. But I'm just running around. It was like a tower where you had to climb the tower, and I'm just running around. And next thing I know, my speaker's like, Bobby, and I was like, what? And I was like, yes. And then it was Court again. And Court was like, Bobby, can you hear me? And I'm like, I can hear you.
No way, dude.
Like, who the heck is this? And then it was Court. He joined my Destiny, or the Division 2 game. But he scared the hell out of me.
I'm downloading Warframe to my Series S right now.
Oh, there you go.
So I've got to figure out my hard drive situation, because this is
isn't that the worst?
It's the console I'm bringing over to Extra Life. Yeah, like, for the most part, it's fine.
Yeah.
It sits here for the streaming. It's like, I've got Halo and I don't know, maybe a Call of Duty or something like that. And I don't need every single game on here. My Series X is in the other room, and that's where I play the majority of my games. But I feel like I'd love to. We have 24 hours at Extra Life, but at the same time, it's like, seems like we have unlimited time, but it's so limited, you know? Like, I'd love to just like run through a couple missions of like Warframe with you or the Division, and it's like, well, can't get to everything, but man, like, that sounds so good. Dang it.
Yeah, I will never forget. Like, when I got back into Warframe, my buddy came with me. I played it forever by myself, because he went off to Destiny 2. He found a new clan. Like, our clan, we didn't play together anymore. He found a new clan and everything, and I kept inviting him like every day. And that was right around the time that I met Bobby and everybody. And then I just kept, everywhere I went, I was like, let's go play Warframe. Play Warframe. And then every time Bobby would be like, no, Bobby Miller, I'm not playing Warframe. Like, every single time. And it's like, it just became a big joke. But it's so funny, because this was going to be the whole, for the Robby Bobby Miller's, the list is my show, which now that I've got this set up, I will actually start doing that. I want to say that I would like you to be my first guest.
Yes.
And it's basically, we'll just be showing each other lists that we created for video games.
I have been talking about that kind of an idea for years, literally years. Do it. I want to see this. I love lists so much. Dude,
I have
these magazines I bought. They're all lists, like Ultimate Retro PC Gamer Collection. It's a list of games, 100 games to play before you die. I love lists. This is incredible. Please. Yes. Oh my God. I don't even care what we're talking about. I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. Like for Warframe, I started a list for daily logins.
Yeah.
And then for sorties, when they had sortie events, I wrote everything down. I have Excel sheets.
Best.
Like crazy. I have composition books filled. I have spiral notebooks.
You need to send me these.
Oh my gosh, you'll think I'm nuts. It's like calligraphy.
Not even a little bit, man.
And it's so hysterical.
Did you see me on Twitter the other day? I'm like, everybody send me your gaming spreadsheets.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Everybody should do it. Yeah. No, man. Oh man, because my heart rate just jumped up like 20 beats a minute, man. Like I'm stoked about that. Yeah, Zero Skill sent me his spreadsheets the other day. I'm like, more, please.
It's amazing. Like you don't realize how many people do it.
Yeah,
and it's like even for the dumbest things you do it for, there's somebody else out there doing something similarly dumb. And it's like it's so great. Like I was asked before, they were like, why do you have a Warframe daily login list and sortie list? And I was like, because I got tired of being screwed on rewards.
That's right.
And I was like, I wanted to figure out the algorithm.
Stand.
Yeah, I'm like every fourth week I got a statue, and I had a whole list breakdown.
I'm down for it, man. That's awesome.
Oh man, it's just that's the way to go. The list is great. You can make a list for anything.
I'm telling you, and ask anybody, all the carpool people. Like I've been throwing around ideas, and it's like, okay, get a grip, Capri. Like you have enough content and whatever else. But I'm like, for whatever reason, like that seems like that would be like Ryan's like RPG cave like lists for me. Like just let me do lists.
The way people do different things. Like even my wife does it she's an accountant. Mm-hmm. And like to see her spreadsheets, I get excited because I look at her spreadsheets and I can't even figure out half of the stuff that's even on there, but I get excited.
Gosh, that's like, the best.
Oh, you sorted by that way, and you got that kind of folder, and this, and I'm like, okay, I like what you're doing there. Yeah. It's like it's it's weird little things, but it's like it's cool because it's like everybody makes a list for something.
Mm-hmm. Dude, for my birthday a couple of years ago, this is actually quite a while ago. My parents were like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "I want to do a list. I want to do a top 10 list. I think it was like Disney or Pixar movies or something." And so it was kind of like, it was inspired by, they used to do this on NVC, I think, Nintendo Voice Chat on IGN. Every like 100 episodes or something, they go like the top 20 games of whatever. And they would have this like a set of rules. And I did that for my birthday. I had like places for people to like write down what their answer was, and it could stick up on the wall, and then you could move it around and stuff. I'm like, it was the best birthday party ever. Like, I'm so happy right now, man. I'm just like, I was in my happy place. Yeah.
Oh my.
See, now we got to change plans for Extra Life.
Now we just got to do a list. We need like a day where we just make a list.
Yeah, what's it called? Felt? Like you can have felt things that you can kind of like
and stick it to kind of like the fancy football boards. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, or some sort of like magnetized whiteboard or whatever. You can have things kind of just like up there. Like there's ways to do, and it's actually better than like doing it in Excel, because in Excel you got to like insert a row and blah blah blah. Like do
sometimes
the tactile thing.
Yep, it'll overwhelm you. Yeah, especially if you lose it.
Oh my gosh, that's the best. That is what I'm talking about, man. Like, let's geek out about spreadsheets for 5.5 minutes together. You know what I mean? Like,
there's people out there. Are closet spreadsheet people out there right now.
That's right. That need
to just like when I start my show, we'll spreadsheet the hell out of everything.
YouTube, or what are you thinking? Like,
you know what's funny is I've done Twitch a lot, but when I did YouTube before, I felt like I got more people watching it, but it was a different type of people. It was because you get some humorous folks. You get more of that on YouTube than Twitch lately. But I don't like the way that Twitch is. It's only been set up lately for like pro streamers. Yeah, like it's very anti regular ass me sitting there one day, I'm feeling froggy and I throw on Rocket League or something.
Yeah.
It's not for that person anymore. It's not that anymore. It's just it's gotten downhill from far from what it was, and even monetary wise now, like what they want to charge for rates for things, for especially people that are under a certain percentage. I'm just not a fan of that. It's greed. I mean, I believe in capitalism, but there's also a point of people want to do this for fun.
Bring back Mixer, man.
Trying
Come
to
on.
make $1 billion.
Mixer.com/Robby Miller.
I was on there before. I used to do Sea of Thieves.
I know, man.
I want to say
pretty good.
Mixer probably wanted to ban me because I dropped a lot of curse words.
I don't think so. I think that there was a space for. I think there was a space for. Like,
I thought Mixer was more for the youth.
No, I think they just made you clarify. Like I think I remember specifically, especially on Mixer, like clicking a box and go like, you understand, like this is an 18+ stream. Like I think there was just actual clarity. Or I think about shout out to Mitch Power 1116. That guy is like he doesn't care. Just F bombs. I love it, man. Like you get the real Mitch on that.
Well, that's the thing stream. Is that playing Sea of Thieves, I was not happy because it was like before it was cool to rob people. And it's like you spent 6-7 hours in the game and you got a whole boat full of stuff. And then a whole group comes over and takes everything that you just did for 7 hours. I was like, oh, no.
I would never play it like that.
That's why I was like, I'm never playing this again. And then I did go back a few times, but I didn't stream it anymore because even my family would yell at me. They're like, you got to calm down. You got to come. Like, no,
you don't understand.
Yeah. It's like, I had to read a treasure map.
That sounds horrible.
Figure out these clues.
What if you found out
stupid things?
What if it was Skinny Matt who raided you? What if you found out later that
we will fight? Is he going to be?
He's going to be there. You guys both. I think both of you bring your families. You guys should probably sort things out. I was going to bring my family, but Miguel. Since I'm picking on Miguel, I don't want to take everybody. Oh, okay.
I'm just going to grab Miguel.
I've never met Miguel before.
You never met Miguel? Oh,
no,
man, he's great.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's gonna be amazing, and it's actually like worked out really nicely. Like I didn't really. You think that I would plan it this way, but I didn't. But last week was Bowser. You're this week. I actually have no clue what I'm doing next week because I'm going to be in Chicago. So I got to figure out, like, I've got everything sorted up until like tonight. After tonight for the show, like, I've got no idea because next week, I'm in Chicago. The following week, I'll be there. Like, I'll be with you. So that's it.
I can't wait, man.
So I don't know what to do. This might be the last We the GamerCast before, actually, I don't know.
Like, yeah, no, that'd be pretty good. I'll be the last. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, for now. Till after.
Then it's all done. That's it. Extra Life is the finish line, and then we're closing up shop. That's it, man.
Oh, man. Then you get to get ready for the next 14 new releases that are coming out.
Gosh, man.
There's so many things that I want to buy right now, but I'm like the new Tales for Borderlands came out.
I know.
Like I want it, but I'm like, it's $40.
Yeah.
And you are going to play it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I was like, no, I can't right now. Like I'm waiting for Black Friday. I'm like literally like white knuckling it to Black Friday.
You got to have your Black Friday list, man. Get your spreadsheet going for Black Friday. Heck yeah.
Yes, I have several things that I should buy from different stores. I even had people send me spreadsheets. Yeah. One of my friends, Adam, who we used to play Destiny 2 together. He sends me spreadsheets all the time for different video game sales for Black Friday and all these other things, like things to get at different stores and like prices and buy one get one frees. And oh man, I love it.
Gosh, dude, when is Black Friday this year? What's the date on this stuff? I don't even, if people are still with us, then that's cool. Black Friday must be the 25th. I think Thanksgiving is the 24th. Is that how that works? Of November? Something like that.
Fourth Thursday.
Oh man.
Yeah, 24th.
So
Thanksgiving.
I want to do one of two things. What I want to pitch here is on the 18th, the Friday before Black Friday, you and I chat again. Maybe we'll record another because we're going to wrap things up here, but I got to have you back sooner rather than later. Number one, to keep you on track with your new show. But also why I'm thinking about this for Black Friday is I kind of want to run through your Black Friday list. Like I want to just like live in the consumerism that is Black Friday when it comes around. And I love American Thanksgiving as well. Like I want to hear about you. I want to live vicariously through you.
Oh, that's my holiday.
Yeah, yes. I know it is, man. Like, yes.
I love Thanksgiving.
Give it to me. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So
I buy like 10 turkeys.
Oh my gosh.
I love cooking turkeys. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do this. We'll get it in the Google Calendar immediately after this. But I think I want to run through a Google list of the best deals. Like, what are you searching for? What should everybody else be looking for?
Have old lists of stuff that was like last year.
Yes.
Stuff that was COVID. Like it was like, because we have the other day we got charged $63 to my wife's Apple Pay, and we were like, what the hell? Which one of you tried to charge $63 on mommy's phone? And we found out that it was one of the deals that was for ABC Mouse. I think one of the things during COVID where you got 2 years for like $10.
Yeah.
And of course they didn't tell you that the new time's coming up. Yeah. So it's like I have a lot of that happening now where it's like I almost want to like cancel my credit card just so they could send me emails like, hey, we're going to cancel this.
Holy cow.
And let you pay for it, because I hate that you don't get enough notifications for that.
You know, it's funny you used to say that, because I was just checking out by chance my my Game Pass, speaking of Game Pass, and I'm good until I think it said August of 2024. And that's gonna like I'm gonna like look away and I'm gonna come back and go like, and that's it. Like that's 2 years away, and somehow my irrational brain went like, I gotta take care of this. That's 2 years. I don't have to look at anything right now, but my stupid broken brain went like, you should probably get another year on top of that, you know, like figure that out.
That's what I did with PS Plus before they turned it into whatever the hell they did now.
Oh, but you know what, man? What did you do? Did you get the top tier, the prestige, whatever they call it?
That's what I have, because I got it during Black Friday last year, I think, and I bought 2 years of it.
Yeah.
So I think it's next August that it'll want to renew for the highest tier, which I never wanted to do, but they automatically did that for me. But I won't renew that.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because like
a good deal.
That's exactly why I bring it up. Like, I don't know how many people are stoked about like if they paid full price for like the year. Although like they kind of discount it if you compared to paying it month to month, which I guess is like you don't get that on Game Pass. You can't really. There's the odd time where you can just like stack up, which I guess maybe is the closest equivalent, but you can't just buy a year. So maybe that's our Black Friday deal that we'll be watching out for.
I'll be looking.
And I want to see your approach. Actually, you know what? The week before might be better. I actually kind of want to see your approach to Black Friday, like how you go find the deals. That's maybe the next thing for Carpool Game. We got to get like an Amazon affiliate link or something like that. We got to start.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys don't have one.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I hadn't thought about it until like just now. So we got enough things. We've got literally a page, and like this Locklith brought like this planner platform to us, and there's literally like a page dedicated to all my stupid ideas. She's very kind, says like all Sean's big ideas, and it's just like me being just insatiable, I guess.
Hey, your ideas have panned out, man. You've been doing great.
We're doing okay. We're doing all right, man. Sometimes it's a little much, but you know it's going to be it's going to be an ultimate celebration at Extra Life. The fact that people are traveling from all over. We're going to play a bunch of video games. We're all going to like, if you're not there, man, it's not going to be a good time for you. I'm just going to say, like, you're going to be like wishing that you were here. You wish you were with us. I'm so glad so many people are making the trek out. It's going to be a time to remember forever as we try to stay up for a full 24 hours. I have a feeling you're not going to have an issue with it, though. I feel like you're just going to
No. I can stay awake for days.
I have no doubt.
So my wife keeps getting worried about, she was like, all right, she was like, what time are you going to leave? What day are you going to leave? Because I'm going to go pick up Miguel and then go to New York with you guys.
You're doing Nintendo, City. Right? Yes.
Doing Nintendo New York and then driving up to Rome.
Yeah.
And then I was like, damn, when am I going to sleep? It's like I'm going to leave Friday morning and then wake up Sunday. Like, well, not wake up Sunday, but just like exist Sunday.
Find a place to park your car, man. Take the train with us. You could rest on the train at the very least. It's a 4 or 5 hour train ride to Rome.
Oh, I love driving.
Yeah,
I would drive anywhere.
We'll see you there then.
I told my wife I would drive to your house. Like I literally, I would drive I love driving. Like that is like the one freedom.
Yeah.
That I hope I would never lose, because it's driving is amazing. It's your escape to anywhere.
Yeah, dude, that brings me back to just like getting the license and going like, oh, especially that time when your parents are driving you around like everywhere and whatever. Like, oh man, yeah, getting a license, you can go wherever you want, whenever you want. But it's now gas is so expensive, you can't go that far.
Too expensive. I remember when I first started driving, for the first 4 years, I didn't have a license.
Yeah.
but I had a car, and, and my mom, because when I got kicked out at 17, it was right before in the United States, maybe just Maryland, where they made you take driver's ed.
Yeah.
And we were so broke that there was no way we were ever going to pay $300 for driver's ed.
Mm-hmm.
So I drove
school.
Yeah. So I drove for 4 years before I actually got my license. And then the first car I bought was a manual. I didn't know how to drive it.
Yep.
So my mom had to teach me how to drive it in the church parking lot.
Yeah, man. That's a classic
once
moment.
you go manual, it's amazing. Like it's you control the whole car.
Yep.
Like it's literally everything.
That's
Every
what I
motion.
drive. I drive manual now, and
It's the only way to go, man.
And stick with it because it's not gonna be dude. We're gonna be the old men like going around. Like back in my day, we had 5 speeds, we had 6 speeds. Like
exactly.
Yeah. Like it's going away. Speaking of lists, I was looking at. I think there was like 22 or something, some stupid low number of models in 2022 that are being released with a manual option. Like it's just not even an option. It's like, yeah, Toyota Corolla, like maybe the Camry, and that's it. Like everything else, and then Honda Civic, and then that's it from Honda is like one of each, and it's usually like that entry level car kind of thing. Like that's it.
If you want to stop texting while driving, you manual car.
Totally, like dude. Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Every hand, every foot, everything. Yeah, there's no way.
Oh man, I missed it. I didn't realize how much I had missed it. But when the pandemic hit, Chelsea and I realized we only needed one car because like it was 3 months, and I'm like, I haven't gone anywhere. And so we sold the car, and we ended up just having one truck that she uses mostly for work now. And like time was going by, I'm like, man, I really miss having a car. I miss being a little bit lower to the ground, but also like just the tight handling of a car and all these things. And the time came for us to get a second vehicle again, and it had to be a manual, dude. Like it just, I'll never leave. And I didn't want to learn it because it was so hard. I learned on a minivan. My parents' like 1989 Plymouth Voyager. It was a 5-speed. So it was like this, the gear shift on it was like 2.5 feet tall. So it was so long. Like
I can hear the gears grinding down.
Yeah. If you messed it up, like the whole thing would just shake. Yep. You know, you don't get like a little like rumble. It's just like the whole van just like back and forth. But anyway, that's hilarious, dude. I'm going to see you very soon in 2 weeks. Oh, yeah. I've had an absolute blast. My face hurts from laughing, surprisingly. Do you want to tell people where they can find you? First of all, thank you for joining me tonight, man. But do you want to?
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Sure. Usually everywhere it's Robby Bobby Miller, but it's still under the moniker @Smooth423.
Nice.
But you can find me on Twitch, on YouTube, on anywhere really, Twitter, everything @Smooth423.
You're the best, man. You've been a wonderful friend. Thanks for opening up and sharing everything tonight, man. It's been great to chat with you. But yeah, man, we're gonna have a blast. We're gonna go to that stinking Nintendo store. I cannot wait. I can't believe this is happening.
This has been killing me because it's like I have the stuff still here. I opened the box. Make sure.
Oh wow!
This is the stuff from Bobby.
Yeah, man.
And it's like I still have stuff downstairs from going to Nintendo New York with Bobby, and it's so neat that I have the opportunity to do that with you as well. It's because it was like right around the time of, I believe it was right after I met Bobby in New York that the Yumi and Capri started.
Yep.
I believe that's where I saw you guys making the little video with you and Bobby walking around the house, which is freaking hysterical.
Dude, man. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget it. He was off at work, and because Chris O'Brien had made that song for If We Were at Nintendo, and we'd always wanted to do something. We're like, well, we're here in person. Like when Bobby and I, we always just had this thinking of, if we can do it, we should just do it. And when we were together, it's like, well, we should do something together. And it was never much more of a conversation than we're doing this. And yeah, he came home from work, and I'm like, whatever you need to do. I don't know what your like post work routine is. Like, get that done because like we're filming and here are the scenes. Like I spent all day watching all these other intros to like Family Matters and Step by Step and all these other sitcoms. I'm like, we're doing this one from this thing and this one from this thing. So, you know, keen eyes out there, eagle eyes can look at the intro to If We Were at Nintendo and spot this one comes from this show. This one comes from another show.
It was so good.
Oh my gosh, man. It's so
you guys were great. Like I remember like even with Bad Bit, like it just, Bobby was just so good with everyone. Like it was so crazy. Like how each one of his shows or anything that he did, there was always someone else there and it was always a good time.
Yeah, man.
And it's something I will never forget. And he kept telling me to do my show and do things, but I never could get around to it because it's just so much pressure. And I tried to start before when Ustream came out with the launch of PS4.
Yeah.
And there were so many people that called me fat that I stopped.
Oh,
it was like, it was the worst. It was like, that's when I was like, I don't know why people want to stream. Like this is awful. And then that just kept me away from it forever. But even talking with Bobby in New York and like messaging him during his shows or Twitter or Discord, he was always great. He was always just a great guy to always talk to, and I miss him a lot.
Me too, man. Well, we're gonna we'll remember him when we are at Nintendo New York. It's a special place. I feel very fortunate that I've been there before and can look forward to going back again. It's such a central place for us to like, everybody can just be there and it makes sense for that to be the meetup. Like there's so many places, so many things to do in New York City, by the way. Like most people like, let's go see the Statue of Liberty or do all these touristy things. Like we're going to the Nintendo store, like nuts to all that stuff. We're not going to go top of the rock or nothing.
And it was great. Even when I went there, I sat in the Starbucks across the street waiting for Bobby to show up. Yeah. And I was sitting in between Joe after work and Jams. I was sitting in between them while they were talking around me.
Oh my gosh.
And had no clue who they were. And then Bobby walks in and he's like, hey, Bobby. And they were like, oh, you're Bobby. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, that's
and I was like,
awesome.
wait, you're Joe after work and you're Jams. It was funny because none of us, and I haven't met the group. Yeah. And it was so funny because I know Joe's voice sound. And what was it, Jose?
Josue. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there. Another great guy, Miguel. Mm-hmm. It was just such a great time. And I will say, are you going to buy a Switch like Bobby did in New York?
Probably not. I don't need one, man. Like honestly,
I was going to talk you out of it because it's just such a big purchase.
If they had a 3DS for sale, like if they had still some select 3DSs, like I would think about that because that's what my ridiculous collection was. Was the 3DSs,
look, I found these guys for you today.
Oh my gosh, dude! Every single one of those. You got the GBA, nice clamshell red. That's in great shape.
And then the old Game Boy Color.
Yeah, man. Like I was
eyeing the 2DS. The 3DS may be sick.
The 2DS XL is gorgeous. That's actually that's like so a creamsicle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. I was eyeing an Analog Pocket and started to think about like maybe I'll put that on the Christmas list, and I sent a link over to Chelsea, my wife, and she's like, this is like $400 shipped. I'm like, so no. And I guess I'll probably get back to a color of some sort, or Pocket actually. Like Game Boy Pocket is like, it feels like something I should have, which is a very, I don't know, spoiled thing to probably say, but I kind of just want one. That looks really nice. That color.
Everybody wants these. This is like the Stadia all over again. Because I got Steam Deck. Right. It came in the mail right when I put my gaming computer downstairs in the living room. Because we have two TVs in the living room now.
There you go. Yeah.
My wife was totally against it at first. She was like, "This is ridiculous." And at one point we had three because we had one we sat to the side for the girls at their kiddie table. And then I played on the games, and then we watched TV together. That was the only way to do it, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like TVs used to cost thousands and thousands of dollars for like anything of a decent size.
Especially when the LED TVs first came out, like the flat screens, it was crazy prices.
You have options now. You can get a good size TV for not thousands of dollars. You know, there's still high end TVs that are up there, but
if you want to,
you don't have to have the best ones.
Yeah, that's the thing is everybody thinks everything has to be 60 frames a second.
Yep. You can get decent. Dude, those nanocells are pretty good. Like they're not OLED or anything, but like which is great. You know, that's Anyway, feel like I closed the show like half an hour ago.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm having. I don't even want to stop talking to you.
I told my wife, I was like, I don't know. I hope he could stop me because I don't stop talking sometimes.
We like I said, we're gonna have to make sure that we keep an eye on the clock when we meet together at Nintendo, because I'm gonna have a train to catch at one point. So we're all gonna have to skedaddle over to Madison Square Garden and get on the train to Penn Station or Moynihan, I guess it is for Amtrak. So yeah. So yeah, man, Extra Life coming up 2 weeks from now. We'll get a whole bunch more of this in, and I can't wait, dude.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, man. You're the best.
Thank you. It's made my day.
Sometimes I forget that not everybody does a podcast like every week, and especially doing this show for so long, coming up on 6 years, 7 years, I think it was 2015. Oh my goodness gracious. Anyways, besides the point, sometimes I forget that people come on and it's like maybe their first time doing anything like this. And Robby Bobby Miller is so conversational that he actually made me forget that as well. He doesn't he has his Twitch channel, but he doesn't jump on a podcast. And so he was telling me about like the preparation that he had for this show, and it's like that's very meaningful. It's very humbling, but also you guys can. It's okay, you don't have to you don't have to get worked up or anything. But it's just a good reminder that this is a weekly thing for me, but it's a big deal for people to be on the show. And that's been the intent from day one, was to give people a chance to come on and share their story, because when else is that ever even possible? Like when you're day to day, like think about it. I don't know if this is a thing. You're just going about your day and somebody is like, tell me about your story. Like, who are you? Like, who are you guys? That one's for Seth. I think it's important. I think it's important for everybody to have a chance to explore where they've come from and talk about it. I just don't think that it's so important, and it's like the last thing anybody really talks about. So thank you to Robby Bobby Miller for opening up and being so transparent and honest and open with it all. Very inspiring, man. I really appreciate you. And I cannot wait to see you, and maybe, well, you, Robby Bobby Miller, but maybe the person, maybe you listening or watching here at youtube.com/carpoolgaming. Remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. That's probably the best way. Even if you're listening on podcasts, go over to YouTube, leave a comment. Let us know what you guys saw. That's the best way to help us grow. If you're not already on patreon.com/carpoolgaming. But Extra Life is really where we want to direct you guys. Very, very exciting stuff. I cannot wait. It actually seems surreal. So I don't know. I guess I keep talking about it until it becomes real in my own head. We'll see. We'll see many of you at Nintendo New York, which is amazing. Follow me on Twitter at Sean Capri, Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. Follow Robby Bobby Miller, Smooth423 on Twitter. And every single episode ends in a clip of Bobby Paul's, the late great Nintendo guru, thanks to Josh Stapleton. This is one of his famous little flubs. And notice the audio quality. We started not sounding all that great, but I appreciate it. I love you all. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Just to wrap this up, thank you guys for checking out this cool little game that Toby came up with. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let us know in the comments below. Is this something you want to see us doing in the future? I kind of think that we're going to do it regardless of what the consensus says. I had fun.
Let us know what you think. We'll do what we want anyway.
Yeah. No, I just think that it's a lot of fun, man. I think that people are going to really enjoy it. That's why I'm saying that. Like, I really think that you guys are going to be in it as much as we are. Yeah. Follow Sean like Connery, Sean like Sean, Sean like whatever. Sean like
I hope you're not smelling toast right now, buddy.
Oh my God. Thank you for watching the Nintendo Guru. Bobby just had a stroke. We'll see you guys in a few weeks.
You can follow Sean on Twitter, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Wow. Mark, you can follow at Mark Harriman on Twitter. Toby's at Toby's_take. I am the idiot known as the Geek Guru, Nintendo Guru, moronic. Follow me at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Cub Scout.
Bye. Thanks for coming on, y'all.
Oh my god! You know that's gonna start the show off. What the hell was that? I was like stroking out over here, man. Oh.
Sean, as in Sean Capri Pants.
People are gonna be like,
Connery. Sean Connery.
people are gonna be like, is my internet skipping? What's going on?
That was an internet skip of the brain.
Oh god!
So that's
Wow. That was
Bobby
horrible.
needs a patch.
That was good.
That was horrible.